It's a bit of a cold, miserable day in the 100-acre wood today, YouTubers. Anyway, what have we got in store for you? Well, look what I have in here. Ooh. I has me a dial gauge, and this is going to help me get. Oh, I need something steel for that to stick to, so it doesn't fall over. Top dead centre. So I can then set the top dead centre mark on the pulley, and then get the crank sensor all done. Job number one. None of the other stuff has arrived, so I can't do any more on the engine other than that. We are then painting the arches, glass fibering the boot, fitting the steering column, and what else? What else? I do have the... Oh, I can't find it. Ah, this is where I put it. This is the new bit, and I've got to drill a hole in there, and that's going to be fun. And then tap that for an M12 times 1.5 pitch thread. Right, well, this is my first effort with a tripod. It's also my first effort with Fiberglass. So, join me for the journey, and maybe we'll both learn something. At the very least, you'll all be able to have a bloody good laugh at my expense. So, I suppose first things first is read the instructions. Ensure surface is clean, free from grease. Probably. Roughen surface to prepare. I'm pretty sure this is rough enough. Bridging large holes, 20mm around. Add hardener to resin at a ratio of 3 to 100. Right. Are there any convenient measuring marks on here? Nope. I suppose we just get involved and go for it. I'll fit it up to that mark there. And now hardener. Let's hope that's the right amount. And give this a bloody good stir. Tempted just to put another dribble of this in. I'd rather it goes off too quickly than not at all. So let's start off with the easy bit, which is this bit here. So here's the matting. I presume you just cut a few strips. Lay it over. I can probably just do it that way. So let's see how we get on. Slap of plenty adhesive. Is it called adhesive? Fuck knows. This seemed to go quite well, to be honest. I had the advantage of not having to make it look pretty at all, so I just slapped on some resin, slapped on the matting, and then put some more resin on top, put a bit more matting on top, and yeah, just covered up initially the crack that I'm doing there, and then a few thin bits, and then the big hole just covered up by my left hand. But yeah, on the whole, wasn't a bad job, and I've given it a few good lumps with the hammer. Seems to be holding pretty good. Right, now if you remember last time I relocated the fuel pump up a little bit, so I've got some grommets. I'm going to see if these will fit and do the job. And obviously these are always best fitted with a great big screwdriver in the cold weather with freezing hands. Yeah, my camera work is appalling. I will probably put this out. There we go. Fitted. Right, it seems as I forgot to press record on the camera, but there is one arch done. And here is the other arch not done. So you can see the difference it makes. But what I was saying was, this is a very quick and dirty job. This is not professional. It's just literally to cover up the blue. I haven't really even cleaned the arches out properly, but I don't care. It's just going to make it as black as it can. And then one day, 1 year, this will get done properly. But today ain't the time for that. So yeah, join me on a quick time lapse for how not to paint the inside of your arches. So as with all painting and all paint jobs, preparation is the key. So make sure you shake it in your right hand, and then yeah, slap some paint on basically. Hope you don't get too much overspray. Now, over on the near side, we can see we've got some nastiness here. This is where front wheel has been rubbing. So problem solved. You can also see that great big, well, two great big holes have drilled in. That was in an attempt to let a bit of hot air out that was building up in the bonnet. Didn't work. Might leave them in anyway. We'll see. Right, and there we have it. All the arches are painted and looking a lot nicer. And yeah, just got the boot to do now, but I've got a bit more fiberglassing to do. And you know, before anyone says that, you know, you're just painting over shite and it's a cheap, horrible job, well, yeah, that's exactly what it is. But this car isn't going to rust. It's just going to look tatty, which it is. It's a tatty car, but it's going to be a car that's going to get used, and it's not going to be sat on display or in a heated garage. I'm going to drive this. I'm going to do hopefully 4,000 or 5,000 miles a year in it. So, you know, you pays your money, you takes your choice, and I'm paying my money to get it working, be mechanically reliable. Don't really give a fuck about the rest. All right, we're making good progress down here. This looks like it's nearly ready to kind of make this its final home. So I'm gonna fill in that gap there, and then I think we can go and drill that thermostat housing, or maybe do top dead center. I don't know. Let's wait and see. So here we are, ladies and gents. You can imagine my pure and utter joy when I found out it had a tilting table. Yes, this definitely isn't farm spec. This is like professional engineer spec. So I've got the vise mounted to the table. Oh, what do I got it set at the moment? It's probably about 30 degrees. So I am going to level it up. See, it's not really level across that plane, and it ain't level across that plane. So we'll get it leveled up, and then in true engineer style. I've got a straight edge so I can mark the centre, and I've got a punch. God, you know, Gordon Murray may well be knocking on my door anytime soon. This is just top flight engineering. Top flight engineering. So I'm going to set this up on the tripod, and then you'll have a time lapse of me hopefully making a massive success of this. And if you see something get thrown out of that door, you'll know I fucked it up. Now this bloody took forever, and it really highlights my inexperience of trying to get the two planes level and then have the centre point directly underneath the drill bit. I managed 2 out of 3 of these in the end, and we got a level and plumb hole, but it wasn't in the middle, but just enough in the middle to work. So what have we got, campers? Well, we've got a hole which by my measurements is straight and true. It is off centre. You know, there's no denying that. It's massively on the piss, but it's going into straight. So I'm going to get a bigger drill bit and see if we can go all the way through. So I've bottomed out on this, and yeah, hopefully we'll be in business. But yeah, it's not straight, but fuck it. So, what do we got? Oh, we got a hole. A hole's meant to be egg-shaped, oval-shaped. I don't know. Yeah, I think there's a reason I'm a desk jockey and not an engineer. But let's see if it will tap, and then let's see if it will hold what I need it to hold. So you will join me. I think I'm probably going to bolt this onto the car, to be honest, and tap it from there. That'll be the easiest way. Wish me luck, boys. Right, so as you can see, I've got the new housing bolted on, and boy does it look a lot better than the, I mean, blue. Who's painting everything blue? The 1/2-inch bolts that have gone in it, they're really grotty, so I'm going to have to give everything a bit of a clean up. But this is about tapping an oil. So the tap does just about fit. Now I should, as many a professional will tell you, I should have used a 10.5-inch drill to do the hole before tapping. I think someone on one of my groups said that it's the thread, so M12 minus the pitch 1.5. That's the drill size you should use. So there's a little nugget of information that I didn't know, but I don't have a 10.5, so I'm just going to go for it. So tapping fluid, I've got some plus gas. That'll have to do. Put a little on there. Put a little bit on the tap. Now this is what I think is called a taper tap. So it is good for starting things. Oh, I'm gonna hit the fucking cam cover. Okay. Is this a problem? Can I get it started and then, shock horror, put it into a... Oh, it's missing now. Why is it now missing? All right. There we go, well, it started. And I have got I have got the thermostat still in. So I shouldn't get loads of swarf kicking around in places that swarf shouldn't be. So yeah, this job went fine. I did the taper tap and then took it off, put it in the vise and finished it off with the plug tap, and then bolted an old temperature sensor in, as you can see there. All good. Right, sorry I didn't film it, but we have top dead centre set, so this does look awful, and yeah, it probably is, but nice big white mark with a very precise line. And another precise line, that is TDC. So, what I imagine happens next is when that's around there, the crank sensor is going to be somewhere over here. I'll just whack one of these teeth off, and then the no-dis ECU will know where everything is, which should be okay. And in my opinion, although I think I've got this pretty spot on, I don't think it matters, because all it will affect is my baseline setting. So if, say, the car's wanting 20 degrees of advance and my TDC mark is out by, say, 2 degrees, I will just give it 22 degrees of advance without knowing, because the engine will be given the advance that it wants when it's set up on the dyno. So I don't think it matters as much as if you were getting a distributor. Sorry, it's picking this horrible blue off. I hate it. If you were getting a distributor that had a kind of advance curve set, and then you'd need it to be, you've got no way of changing it dynamically, whereas this you can. So it may just be that it has an odd baseline setting, and it's because this is out slightly, but it's in, I'm pretty sure it's absolutely spot on, so we should be fine. But time will tell. That ain't black, that's grey, and the cans have very much got black written on them. So whilst under the arches, yeah, who gives a fuck, don't care. But I did slap a little bit on in the boot and it just looks shit. So new paint needed, job won't get finished today. The fiberglassing has gone pretty well. So ticking the box there, but the boot still looks fucking awful. But I'm going to buy some gloss black paint and just do a quick and dirty job. It'll look a lot better. Fuel pumps in, fuel filters in, looks all good, that's great. I haven't done the pressure gauge. I'm going to buy some more P-clips and do that and just route it all nicely so it's all firm. Or do I just wait till I get the fuel tank back in and do that? Probably best to do it once the fuel tank's in. In the spirit of ending the video on a positive note, I got a grommet. I put it in my aerial hole. Yeah, so the big aerial officially banished from the car. Bye. See you next week.